Okay. We about ready?
I think we're on.
Da-da-da.
We're on. We're on. Good evening. Good evening, Sensei.
Good evening. Thank you. Reminder for the locals, San Francisco Dojo, Sunday, the 15th of October, 1 p.m. Do a little hour and a half session there. Okay. It's been a little while. Go ahead and chit chat. What have you been up to? What did we do? Noah, what did we do last time?
Sensei, we worked on the differences between circle first people and center first
okay.
people.
All right.
How one was more self-oriented and one more character-oriented.
Okay. All right. Yeah, people seem to like a bit what style they are, you know, what's your astrological sign and all those other forms. What's your number? What was that one? The one with numbers? I forget.
The Enneagram.
Yeah, Enneagram, yeah. Good old Enneagram days. Anyway, so what have you bumped into since last time? What are you playing with? What great insights have you had? And if you bumped into a wall or something, that's fine too. Hello out there. Please talk. How are you doing? What are you up to? What are you playing with?
Hi, it's Justin.
Yes.
Good to be with you guys. These last few weeks, I've been spending a lot more time exploring the easy the eye and a space invitation for more room and space to experience the relative fullness of center circle. And thank you, Sensei, for your guidance to slow things down a bit and maybe, as you said, double easy and be in that space.
Now here you go again. You're getting into tonight's show.
Oh, sorry. So let me
Get out of here.
Is not to jump the gun for me? I was on character very intently, but maybe character is not taking the stage. So I'll backtrack. So it's easy and space, and let's see. I'll turn it back over to you on that note.
Otherwise, I'll just give you the class and me and Brad will have a glass of wine, whatever. Anyway, somebody out there, what you're playing with, where are you? What's our count so far?
We're at 20, we're at 30.
We're at 30. Hello, 30 people. Hello.
Hey, Bob, Steve here.
Steve.
Yeah. What I've been doing really is giving all the parts their own turn, especially space, which I don't want to get into today's topic too much, but recognizing, of course, they're all here, whether I recognize them or not. And by giving them a turn, there's a fullness to the process for me. By not creating, but by opening to space, opening to and recognizing the construct, the center circle, and as a kind of a lineup construct, or it helps get me more focused and settled and into the process. And as I'm allowing space, self and character will emerge.
Okay, now hold it there.
Okay.
Do you want to really say them both at the same time? I don't want smudging to go on.
No.
They're two different units. Yes, they're buddies. Yes, they overlay, but even verbally, don't smudge them. No, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So one may tend to want to show before the other, as if perhaps self, I feel that glowing, or I experience a glow, acknowledge that, experience that, appreciate it, and character may emerge from there. Or it may be the other way around. Character may start, but no, not both at the same time, appreciating each. But it's good to, it's almost like having an inventory of all the parts and recognizing them.
Yeah, this is important. This is kind of a basic. I try to present sort of a basic map, could we say, and introduce the basic pieces. So tonight we're talking about the space, okay? And I just want to sort of highlight the space, so we'll play there a bit. But then, as Steve was saying, then certain other main parts, components, you find a word, will want to show. It could be the character. Bobby may want to start to show that, hey, he can be a Robert or a Nadeau or a Sensei or whatever. Okay. Could be the self. Self may want to show there. Could be the center circle beats, may want to show more energetically. Okay, may want to show. And we're leaving that open for what shows for you first. Okay, so I'm saying it doesn't have to be this one or that one. It's whatever's going to show in your space. But we're going to highlight space today, give us some room for another main piece to show. Okay, but to start it off, we're just going to deal with easy in the space. But are we okay, Steve, so far in here? Yeah. Okay. But it'd be cool for you to know, again, to be reminded always of the main pieces. The construct, the construction of creation. Okay. So you're all individuals in your universe. But the basics of, let's say, more space, energy, beats, character, self, those are major. So even though your style or something, may be different. I'm not expecting you to be a Bobby. You're a Stevie. Okay. You're a whatever, whoever. But within that, there are certain, I don't know what to call them. I hate to say rules, because if you're brought up Catholic, that could be a little heavy. But there are certain rules or patterns that are the same for all of us. Okay, it doesn't mean you'll be the same unit. He'll be a musician. He'll be a martial artist. He'll be a healer. He'll be a whatever. So we have this freedom in there and certain proclivities. Okay, we'll bring up qualities a bit more one one time. So again, in this more open space, qualities that are there can begin to show better. So we got some main pieces that you got to sort of be comfortable with and give time to. Yeah. So they can, for lack of words, explain themselves, show, for lack of words, their tricks of the trade for developing. Okay. And with all of them, space is a pretty cool one to start with, more space. If I'm in a tight space, very hard for me to be a Nadeau. I'm so busy being a potentially insane Bobby. Nothing, but I can get more space. Then different things can happen. Again, which crops up there for you will be yours. Okay. And we'll get into that after a bit, or you'll experience whatever yours is. Are we okay so far? Sort of, kind of, maybe? Did I say anything too stupid that confused you? Let's clarify it. Nothing?
Hi, Bob. It's Mike from NZ. I was just going to offer the word principles as opposed to rules, because I agree the word rules is too prescriptive, whereas I think principles.
Again, we're back to find a word that's comfortable for you. If I throw out a word, I'm just going to start giving you a general sense of something. Come up with your own word. Let's not go crazy over this, but also I don't go, that's too Catholic a word for me. I'm not asking you to freeze on it. Yeah, so come up with your own word. So yes.
No, yeah, but hang on. You were looking for words, and I'm offering you a word. That's all.
Yeah, anyway. I mean, if I followed some of OSensei's descriptions and words, I could go a bit crazy. Those were his words, his sense of something that aren't in my system the way they were in his system. I have something in my system at the same level he was picking up that he described in his system, but it's got to be mine. Okay. But at least in him laying that out for me, I know there's something big at a certain level. And his was da-da, and mine will be dee-dee. But just that he sort of, in a certain way, gave me a heads up there's something big there, and da-da-da-da. Now that I've confused you all enough, where are we? We okay, Mike?
Yes, certainly. I noticed that in all these sessions, you're generally talking at a deeper, at a greater level than I am, because my focus tends to be on very specific things. Just like noticing the very strong connection now between my center and my head, in that the tendency to stoop a little bit when I'm walking, I have noticed. And as soon as I lift my head, my center comes forward. I don't pull it forward. I don't do anything. But the act of raising my head brings my center forward. And all of a sudden I feel, years younger for a start. But it is an actual real experience within my body.
Basic center. We have bases of center. Crunched over, a clear center may not be there. Now, if I'm physically blocked in because I had polio when I was a kid and I'm a hunchback, somebody I knew as a little kid in Canada, then they can't straighten up, but they can still sense, inner experience a finer, better, straighter center through that. I hope I don't confuse you with that. But for you, a human being, sort of normal. Did you catch that? Sort of normal. I threw that little twist in there for you. To straighten up a bit. So the center, up and down are good beats for center. or down and up, whichever. Facilitate. Facilitate, yeah. That's why when you're a little kid sitting in class, the teacher say, will you straighten up, sit up and be straight up? Because they even caught at that level that facilitates something. That the kids that were, were a little bit behind the kids who were a little more da. So even at the heavier, stupid levels, people have seen that, mentioned that, worked on that, yeah. Anyway, let's move along, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we have played before with easy the eye. We could start there, but I want to continue a little bit more, so let me explain, okay? Let's say I'm in sort of Bobby's brain or maybe Robert's brain, and so a little negative, a little unclear, whatever. Easy. So there I might say easy the eye. And as I use the word easy, I also have a sense of easy into a more larger open space. Okay. And so easy followed by a sense of a little more room, a little more space. Okay. So physically, if I happen to catch my shoulders or up in my ears, easy, because that's not a good level of me. Easy. Sense of a little more room. Easy. After a while, I move out of this confusion into a little more space where it's not as confused, or that strong confusion bitching doesn't exist after a bit. I'm going to go look for it and bring it back, but why should I, go into that when this is starting to happen? Okay. I left an old picture, just that when we do this settling, opening more space, I'm really talking about this space, not just the upper idea of space. Okay. Always I push on this. So, oh yeah, space. Oh yeah, space. Now you can get into space that way, but some pieces won't be able to show. Okay. So we want space to be a here and now. Easy. So here and now. Instead of this diagram is trying to show, it's an inner here and now space, more open space. Are we okay with that? Okay. Because I keep pushing on it because a lot of people would sort of too naturally go, oh yeah, space. Okay. And again, some important pieces sort of can't fit in when you do it that way. Okay. Where are we? So easy the eye. Some sense of settling. Easy. Into more space. Yeah. Okay. Now, along the way in doing that, you might run into little, at first, interferences, like easy into more space. And this is I start to sort of let go, disengage from that busy negative, let's say. Easy. For example, one thing I might hear is, yeah, but what about, shouldn't you get involved with whatever? So there's little, but let's go back here. What about that? And it's like, no, easy the eye, easy that concern. Let go and settle into more space experientially. How do you know you're doing that? Well, your body may change. My shoulders aren't quite as high. My breathing is starting to change. It wants to change. So that just clues me in. I'm sort of on the right track. Okay. So easy the eye, settling into, quote, more space. That's a dimensional move. As we settle and open, the more space infers the next finer dimension. It may not be a big, fantastic jump, but it is a bit of a dimensional change. Okay. Now, what I'd like to highlight after we do easy the eye, and as we settle into more space, I would like, if anything shows up in the space, some energy activity. Is Dusty on tonight? I didn't see his name. Is he on?
No.
No. Too bad. It's great for Dusty. Dusty settles and opens, and right away energies are moving up, down, in, out, whatever. So there's a potential, oh, what should I do? Confusion. And so if he were here tonight, I'd say, Dusty, now is a great practice for you. Easy, more space. And when a bunch of shit happens, whatever, energy, movement, whatever, pass on it, not yet. Ease, continue easy into more, hinting at a finer space, easy. Okay. I realize I'm at a halfway point of thinking about it and beginning to have an experiential sense of it. Okay, easy, finer, more room, more space, easy. There was something in my physical body or some sense here for me that it was a deeper, more open space, just the way I kind of, it's kind of like, this sort of settled. Okay, so I have these little things I can check along the way to tell me I'm in the right direction. Things are moving along a bit. Find your own patterns. If you go easy the eye, more space, easy the eye, more space, and after 5 minutes, you're still up here. You're not quite playing the game properly. Okay, so you have little signs. The shoulders drop, the breathing changes, positioning with the chair, the deeper sense of settle, the sensing. And those are mine, yours are yours. Okay? So can you play for a bit, can you play with easy, start with easy the eye, but we're moving along, easy into a little finer, more space, easy. Okay? And again, if anything, any energy movement, whatever starts to crop up too soon, okay? So I want all of us to play the Dusty form too soon. Don't grab anything too soon. Continue, easy, finer, more open space, easy. In my case, there was a feeling of, was it calmness, niceness? A pleasant calmness. And that caught my attention. Whoa, was that it? What should I do with that? No. Pass, easy, continue, easy into finer dimension of more space. Easy. Play with that for a minute or two. And the question is for you, settling, opening, moving into a finer, more space. is anything activating there for you? Or were you able to just continue the continuing game of easy into more finer space? Easy. So again, Dusty would have bumped in all this energy activity. And I say, pass, pass, pass. Let's continue this basic here. Did you bump into anything like that or something? Should I even bother asking that question?
Sensei, Sean
Sir.
here.
Sean.
I experienced something called like the best word I can come up with is dilation. Like you dial in or dial out and get a bigger frame of reference. And in that bigger frame of reference is finer and more inner. So it's like articulated.
But that's the basic. That wasn't something obstructing or locking you into a certain level. Right?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But
yeah. So that's where I'm heading. That's fine. That's fine. You didn't run into a problem.
Okay, that's a breakthrough. That's revolutionary.
That's sort of why we're going over this one a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So what's keeping me from that? I don't know. It's a level of disconnect that only through your guidance and I don't know. I feel like it's like you're dialing in a way that I can't. I have a tough time doing.
Okay, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
What do I do in easy into more space that you don't do?
Okay.
Now
Okay.
feel your own system.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do I do that you're not doing?
Trust. Basic trust. Basic.
Okay, good. Hold it. Stop.
Yep. Yep.
What do you think is going to happen if you let go and settle it into more open? What is there to trust? Is there a monster under there going to bite you on the ass? You got sharks there? What's going on?
No, nothing.
What is there to trust?
It's like all that I want.
It's what?
It's all that I want. I mean, yes, I
But
don't understand
earlier,
why there's an issue.
Why don't you have trust?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Back to that. Come on. Why don't you have trust? What's your fear? Come on. What's your fear?
Wow.
And come up with something in a couple of minutes. That's your personal therapy.
You got
Go
it.
in therapy with yourself.
Yeah, I hear you. And yep. Yeah. Thank you. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sensei Bob here.
Bob there.
What I got that was potential along the lines you were saying is as things got finer, I could feel nutrients in the energy. And so there was a momentary orientation sort of, well, should I take those nutrients in right now?
Yeah.
And you said, no, you don't do that. You keep going.
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how far we can go with just finer, more space and finer, more space. Let's not, again, I'm using poor Dusty as a fast example. Whoa, energies are moving. Let me grab them. Let me figure them out. And you're just doing the same thing potentially at that level of it. And I would do the same thing at whatever my level of that is. And I'm saying, everybody, let's practice passing easy, as we continue this settling deeper into a finer dimensional space. We okay with that, Bob? Does that come across all right for everybody? Okay. In a certain way, space is easy. I mean, there's always been space. What's the dumb one I used to do in the dojo for whatever reason? I'd say, okay, here we are in the dojo, and there's a certain amount of dojo space, and it's just there. Okay, you walk in my dojo, and there's space there. Okay, you didn't have to do much to say, oh yeah, space is there. I said, okay, now, but the dojo building is on a block of a few other buildings. And that block is a space, and it's just there. All we have to do is sort of notice it and, for lack of words, appreciate it. Oh, yes, the whole block space. We didn't have to work too hard for that to happen. It's just there. The night continue. Well, I don't know, for example, okay, now the neighborhood, this dojo on this block is in this neighborhood. And the neighborhood is a certain size, space, and it's just there. All I have to do is, for lack of words, appreciate it, acknowledge it, experience it. And then we go into the county or the city, the county, the state, the country. So that was my heavy, dumb intro to people on the mat, trying to get them a little more room there. That in a certain way wasn't hard. It just is. Just there. Okay. But
Sensei, I have,
go ahead.
sorry, I have a question. This is Amy from Oakland.
Amy. Oh, okay. Oakland, Amy. Yes.
My question is when I try to relax into the space, I wonder if I tend to notice that my body is tense, like certain parts of my body is tense. But is that part of the space by focusing on my body, or am I like outside of this body? Space outside, or is it my body, or is it the whole thing? Like,
okay, so there you are with your body, whatever the right phrasing is, body. Say easy, settle, open into a finer, more space. Okay. If let's try this. If there are energies there that are coming up through the body and continuing to tense it, that's what I want to pass on.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Subtle. I don't always know that the energies are interfering, but I'll notice that
you'll notice that you're getting tense.
Sometimes, or like it's
something
residual in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so easy with whatever caused that, easy with your reactions to it, pass on it all so we can just continue as best as we can, moving into a finer, more room. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Bob, Steve. Yeah, early on, I remember years ago before you used to not just say easy, but easy the face.
We have to start someplace, so I started.
Well, I'm saying in regard to what Amy is saying, and I've found that easy, both the face, which helps because that's if I'm thinking a lot, if I'm real tight, easy the face loosens that. And the same with the body. Okay, easy. If there's tightness in the shoulder, easy. That helps me move into the space.
Yeah. Okay. Hold it there. And we used to fun with stuff like that. I alone would fun with stuff like that. Lay down on the floor and feel what parts were sort of, I would call it up. Laying on the floor and you feel like certain parts were up, others were kind of settled. And I'd enjoy the settled parts, easy, into a deeper underneath pool, more space, more room, finer. And so I would use all those body parts as a reference to move better, fuller into this more space sense. Yeah. Are we okay there? Yeah. So yeah, you want to start with your face? Hey, cool. I should have done more of that. I waited too long. Anyway, yeah. So if you bump into problems, let's see if this sounds right. If you bump into problems along the way, instead of saying, "Let me figure that one out. Let me really work with that one," I'm not sure for what we're doing right now. So no, pass on it. Pass on it. Let's get into a finer space, more room. And see anything else crops up, just continue. I just want to sort of major in easy. And what other words come with easy? Letting go, not hanging on to, whatever words. Okay, you got the sense of it, right? and the inner sense of more room. Inner, after the inner sense of more room. So at this stage, again, I'm not using an outside size. I'm not thinking about the neighborhood size. I'm into my inner. It took me a couple of minutes to get there, but I'm into my inner finer opening more room. Where are we?
Sensei,
Yeah.
it's Justin. In the exploring this exact process over the past couple weeks, I've really been appreciating the slowing down with it, in the sense of approaching this is a dimensional process and using this as a travel vehicle, if you will. And like we did a while ago, you get close to a level membrane and you notice it and you easy and pass through. But I slowed down to see, I'm getting close to the membrane, 90%. Let's, like you said, easy again. Dimensionality here.
So could we say we're aware of our journey?
Sure.
Yeah. But we don't major in stopping. A membrane is that thin wall between Bobby's space and Robert's space, thin wall to Nadeau's space, thin wall to whatever. So I kind of learn to sort of recognize those, and they're not brick walls. You don't get locked in there. Some people might because I can't go any further. Easy, finer sensing. You can pass through everything, anything. Yeah. I got lost. Where are we?
Thank you. And the going slow there, there's for me, easier to pick up a sort of feedback as to when I'm getting closer to membrane and easy again to pass through. So there's not when I'm at the membrane, it's too late, but picking up feedback early, appreciating the slow down, pass through, using this as a travel vehicle.
Yeah. I think maybe my guess on him would be that he's smart, of course. He's fast. He's an inquirer. He wants to understand. So a little fast on, I got to figure this out and understand it. And I'm saying, not now, not now. Let's continue this journey of just easy and a finer space. And just, I don't know, see what happens.
That was definitely the problem I was having before, is the fast brought me to, I was inviting too much of character right away. And it wasn't appropriate, a space as you're letting.
That's why I want to pass right now. Yeah.
Definitely.
So you see how you might have screwed it up a bit or slowed it down a bit and make your own corrections. It's just self-corrective here. Certainly you all have to be your own therapist, sort of say that. I don't know if that's the right statement, but good enough. We okay? Okay. I don't know. Where should we go with this? More space, more space. Now, because let's say some of you noticed, experienced, you were in a finer space somehow or t'other. Okay. But we sort of took a break out of it. I can't just do it from memory now properly. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine space, that same one. And I came out to dialogue and listen and bullshit back and forth there. But I did tap a minute ago, easy. I have to quickly go through my earlier, just quickly. Doesn't mean I start all over again from Bobby, easy, the I, and then da-da, and da-da. I don't mean a heavy duty, that kind of repetitive, but just easy. What level am I at here? More space, easy. Almost there, almost. Okay, here. I'm starting to be at that level that I noticed was, for whatever reason, a nice level. A nice, don't use a word here, a nice quality. The sense of it was nice, whatever that means. Okay, I'm back at that level again. So I'm just reminding you to be careful trying to get to that same place just with a memory of it. You know? See, when I walk on the mat at the beginning of class, I have a memory of being a damn good Aikidoist. I can look up on the wall and see these diplomas. Okay, I can ask somebody, what's my rank again? Remind me. But that doesn't do me shit on the mat. I have to some degree, do an easy, settle, open. But I've worked on this, played with this over and over again. So it gets faster and easier. So I can much more quickly get to the sensei level. And physically right now, that level's not there. Easy. Bit of a, I could be semi-safe stepping on the mat and starting to teach a little something. Not at my best, but sort of adequate. So I'm just saying memory alone, you can't just zip instantly into that. But you go through the same space much faster after a while. Easier. Okay. OSensei was so damn fast. He could get to this fantastic, unbelievable level starting from this old man. But he had done that journey over and over again, got comfortable with it, caught all the tricks of the trade for him. Boom. So it should be for all of us. Okay. All right. So whatever I say. Okay. Somebody, where the hell are we?
Sensei, Chris from New Zealand.
Chris.
I know what you're saying, like in regards to that memory of doing something. You jump in there and you sort of jump ahead of the game. It feels bloody awful. When you have gone through the process and experience to create that memory, if you jump to it without the proper process, it feels like a whole lot of bits and pieces not working together at all. It's always.
Could we say, if I heard you, could we say something like the memory of the experience or the belief that experience can exist or whatever? Nice, but it's not the oomph. What do you want to call it? The guts of the actual experience, the actuality of the actual experience. Yeah. So I can discern between a memory and an idea about something and whatever, and a degree of actual experience there. I can just feel it along the way real fast. So that's always good with the Aikido thing. I could just feel. In that case, I wasn't using an empty space. I was using a character Aikidoist, right? But I could feel when you hit a certain level, certain kind of energy that body has, a certain kind of presence that body had. But I knew where I was along the level. So I went through click, 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 and got there pretty fast. But I can't do it just with my memory.
Yeah.
If you say to me, but you're no nani Don, go out and do nani techniques. Man, a Saturday morning, I can't do that. I need many more cups of coffee to prep me. Anyway, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Where the hell are we, people? Where are we? Easy. Oh, I know what I wanted to get into. Okay. I don't know how to say this, consciously or subconsciously. You probably all have, I don't know what to call it, a pattern that you use to facilitate what we're talking about. Okay. For example, Roy, could you jump in? Roy, you like to walk. Roy, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You like to walk. Now, sort of following my map or words or something as best you can.
Yeah. So, sorry, I don't have much light here.
Yeah, kind of dark. That's just talk.
Yeah, so I would go out on the path out here by the beach, and initially there's either coming from work at the end of the day, my head is spinning with everything that I've been doing on the computer, and it takes a bit to just simply settle and open, right, and to relax into.
So right there, we were calling that easy the eye when your head is spinning, you're busy with work stuff. Yes, easy the eye. Go ahead, sorry.
So, after a bit of time, I begin to recognize that, there's something more than that. And, that's what I'm shooting for here. And so I continue.
Okay, hold it right there. Describe how you knew there was something more than that. What was the feeling? What was going on?
Well,
Meaning, was it a quiet mind suddenly? Was it a freedom of body walking better? What?
Yeah.
Give us the details here, man.
Well, it was the walking. The walking actually helped me to recognize what wasn't walking, right? There was all this spinning around in my head or spinning around in thoughts and ideas, and that was different than the walking. That was something other, or something that wasn't.
Okay, hold it again. So he moved from here, this upper, can you see, from here into a little fuller, where he who walks, the character walker, could feel himself more and acknowledge he was a walker and notice he's walking better or different. Right?
Yeah. And then I would continue to play with that. And, as you've done here, to not get caught up in that swirl that was happening, and to continue to open into the body and to the movement and to the center, actually, that was there in the walking process. So the center became very clear, and the distinction of
hold it right there. Hold it right there. Again, in more space. In his case, the center of the character walker started to show. Okay. Yeah. All I'm just asking tonight is that we also sort of major now and then just an easy and the finer of space, and not glom onto anything. Don't glom onto a center yet. Don't glom onto a character yet. Whatever's there. Let's just highlight sometimes just a finer space, and just kind of major in that now and then. Everything should have some degree of majoring, whether it's character, self, space, the energy beats, the great in and out, center, circle, circle, center beats, the qualities that are there. Okay, they each need some time. Okay, so let's go ahead, Roy. Sorry.
Yeah, well, different things would appear at that point, right? I mean, there was an opening there as the walk continued that was distinct from, the mental chatter and all that nonsense that was going on.
Yeah.
And so I would just begin to pay attention to that and open up more to that, and to continue to allow that to show itself more fully and freely.
And it was trying to show you that aspect by showing you that walking character has a center. And as the center gets better, that facilitates a better walker somehow or other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, my point was, you all have something where you use this pattern. I just want to get you to recognize, so you could take, more benefit. You could work it better. I know work it is not the right phrasing, but you could play with it better. So when Roy walks again, he could maybe do more space for a bit before he majors into anything about the body. Just highlight more space for fun now and then, just for fun. See what happens. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I said to Katya the other day when I was mulling on what I was going to do, I said something like, she likes to swim. So I figured what I asked her, but something like, when you go swimming, do you like experience anything like this, easy into more space? And she just lit up on me. And she brought some out. She just lit up. Oh, yes. So when she goes to the pool, takes her a few minutes, of course. All right. And she says often, to add to it, thinking about going to the pool and driving to the pool, she sometimes feels some pressures where she almost would like to say, I don't want to go to the pool today. Okay. But she doesn't turn around and come back. But just to notice that some people might get some energy pushes there. Easy. When she gets to the pool now, takes her a bit. Those first strokes of the first lap is like, oh my God, I've done one lap and I got whatever, 79 more laps to go. She's at that level. Few more minutes or another lap or two. These easy the eye, easy into more room. Okay. And I didn't ask her about her stroke style, but I'm sure her stroke and whatever got more effortless and, for lack of words, better. But she said what she really noticed was after bitching about, oh my God, one lap is like taking me so long and I got 79 more to go, that she swims for a while, checks the clock and says, oh my God, where'd that half an hour go? Time just changed. Now we know in a more open space, time changes. We've shown that in Aikido. If you're tight, those arm grabs and pushes and hits are coming at you pretty fast. As you settle, it's like, oh, you got plenty of time, and you move. In that more space, it's different time. Eventually, potentially, there'll be OSensei's no time, no space kind of thing. Anyway, so she noticed that with that change of time there, how vivid that is, especially to have the memory of bitching about the time and not that long later, 5 minutes later or whatever, saying, wow, where'd it go? No. So that's hers. Steve, you bicycle? Is that your
stationary bike?
Stationary bike.
Yeah.
Do you
and I
follow
rock
this
too.
pattern with that?
Do I? when I'm in a good place with it, but it usually is there's a certain tension and tightness, but it does cool off after a while, where I do feel more in a flow, in a sense of openness.
Yeah.
But it takes a while. I bitch a lot at first.
Let's go back. Where do you think this little pressure comes from approaching the stationary bike or sitting up on the stationary bike? Right there is where you're talking about this little pressure is there?
Yeah. I think it's somewhat like Katja in the sense that, I've got 30 minutes I'm going to do, and I'm at zero, and at zero, it's a big task. As I move along and my body starts to, ease into
Easy.
it. Yeah, exactly. Then that issue of time becomes less of a concern.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And somehow or the other, for example, I'm sure you'd feel your body motioning, pedaling and stuff. I don't know, feels healthier, feels better, feels like something nice is happening through the body or something.
Yeah, you start to shift to where it feels like, okay, I feel my legs moving. I'll even push a little harder just because it feels good to give it more energy, because I feel more energy. So yeah, there is a shift. Yeah, there's I would say that in a sense, the character at first is very small, very tight, is you know, I don't want to do this. Why do I have to, you know, all the usual stuff. But once I'm in the flow of it, it's a whole different, this guy just does the job. He's there to do the job. So there is a shift.
I was mulling on it real quick, and my old memory is in the bodybuilding, the weight gymnasiums. I was a gym rat. Some days I didn't want to go, but by that time I knew it's important to keep the pattern up. So I said, well, I'll just go just to keep the pattern up. I won't train. As long as I'm there, maybe I'll take a shower, but I'll just go to keep the pattern. And I'd get there and I'd say, well, as long as I'm here, and with very light weights, I usually do some curls. After a couple of sets of lightweight curls, I start to feel better. Say, well, maybe I'll do a couple of triceps. Okay. I'd end up doing a pretty damn good workout, not the best of the week, but not bad at all. Time-wise and weight-wise and all of that. So where am I going with that? I guess that was my catch, that you can't believe when well, I don't want to go. I don't feel like going. I don't know what to say at the moment, but that's not a total truth. It's a truth of, I don't know, that level, a truth of the moment. Easy. We'll see. Maybe it's Bobby's truth, but is it Robert's truth? Is it Body Beautiful, Nadeau truth? I don't think so. Anyway, we'll see about that.
Chris from New Zealand.
Chris.
I use the process all over the show, but your gym story was one I was going to mention before. I was had spent a bit of time in the gym over the last year, and I always used to love going up to the weights and having to go up a weight because the weights, you weren't there. You pick them up, you go, oh God, that's so bloody heavy. You know, just as this, you're just trying to lift them off the rack to take them back to the bench. But the time you get the weight lifted off the rack, you can feel your body's already shifted into well, you've got to carry this back without hurting yourself. By the time you get to the bench, you've gone through a process, sit on the bench, and then suddenly you're looking into the mirror. You've got this air of focus, this the body's in a structure, in a place where it's going to be safe. But 2 minutes ago or a minute ago, 30 seconds ago, you lifted up the weight saying, holy Christ, what am I doing here? And you were and I was this little man lifting up this heavy.
So let me cut. So right there was at least four dimensional changes from, oh my God, to the next one of carrying them, to the next one of lining up with the bench and stuff, to the next one of doing the actual exercise with those weights that at first you didn't want to pick up. So there was at least 3-4 little dimensional change in there, in that walking from the weight stand to the bench. Yeah? We okay?
Yeah. No, thank you for that too.
Okay. So I was thinking about some others. Listening to music. I'm sure for a lot of people, I'm thinking light symphony music. If now they can just listen and get that, but with this added inner listening, inner development, that you're feeling the music, being affected by the music. So aren't a lot of people who use music being easy into a finer space? Mm-hmm. Right. If you're a music listener that way, play by highlighting this while you're doing. I was thinking about some of the other things, and I was thinking in my case, I like gonging. In fact, I meant to bring down one of the gongs. They're upstairs. But I used to love gongs for some years. Gong. And again, not just listening to the gong, but settle, be more open, and then gong. So that a feeling, experience the vibration. Gong. Easy, finer space, experience the vibration. And so that was a fun one for me for some years. Okay.
Sensei, I can supply the gong right now if you'd like.
If anyone doesn't know what a gong sounds like, could you hit it once? Where is he? Lauren, is the gong in your garage? Where'd you go? Tej is reaching for something. See, there's gongs all over the country. You people didn't know that, did you? Anyway. Thank you, Tej. Okay.
Your gong is bigger than mine.
One of my best hours in southern Japan was Kyoto, was going through a gong shop and just gonging everything. Is in 1,000 different sizes and whatever. The owner caught that I was really into that. He walked around with me and we'd gong something and he'd look at me, and if it was not a good vibrational sound, he could go, and I'd look back and I'd go, When we hit a good one, he'd smile at me and I'd smile at him. It was a hell of a nice afternoon, gonging everything in the damn shop. Anyway, bear with me, people, bear with me. I'm reminiscing.
Sensei, this is Mike from New Zealand again. I was going to say, I had the opportunity to have the same experience with a didgeridoo. We were doing some kind of workshop, and one of the guys was a didgeridoo player, and he got us to lie down on the floor, on our backs, and he played the didgeridoo, and your whole body started to vibrate. It was the most amazing experience. It was an incredible level of resonance, and apparently they do actually in their own culture use the didgeridoo for healing.
Yeah, yeah. Anything vibrational and healing, of course. Part of medicine that got overlooked, amongst other things, color therapy, vibrational therapy. A lot of that got overlooked, and too bad. A lot more could have been brought out of it. Anyway, blah, blah, pass on that. Where was I going? I had something in mind. And let me see what else. Okay. What facilitates walking, bicycling, swimming, gonging, music, moving. Some people like to move. Okay, like to do free dance kind of thing. So it's quite likely and easy the eye. There is more room, and they freer dance. Okay, so movement, yeah. Which could be different than a locked in. You do the move this way. Now you repeat it twice. A regimentated, is that the right word? Regimentated move? I don't think too much. Okay. I don't think too much of some people's warm-up exercises. Some of them are putting pressure on their body instead of saying, body, at this level of opening, what do you want to do? How do you want to stretch? Easy. And so now at this level, body, what do you want to do to warm up? They lock in with something they've learned and they're repeating it. But, and so you hear about people hurting themselves doing warm-up exercises. And I say, of course. How dumb can we get? Of course. There's no body listening. There's no space. There's no intelligence. that the body has to know what it would like to do, what it's capable of doing at that moment. Anyway, so whatever you think you may use to ease the eye, easy into a finer, larger, more room space. I don't know what to say, do it, play with it more knowingly based on what I'm trying to lay out here, and see if you get more improvement, or I don't know what, whatever that means. Okay? All right.
Sensei, I would even throw out there that you get to retain, consistently sustain more of that too. Like you don't go to zero every time, like you said earlier, you play with it to retain it more available through the day with some frequency. I mean, regularity, right? Repetitions to retain.
He's talking about a morning prayer type thing.
Well, yes, but more like if we're doing a stretching or a walking or a breathing or whatever our thing is, like you're saying, you know, once is good, but if we did it every hour or something, we might retain that level of easiness, like as a part of the day to day.
Yeah.
Once is good, so 50 times throughout the day is better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I used to do that when I came back from Japan, had to work in a factory. I used those coffee time. I'd go hide out behind a bunch of boxes and do something, I forget what it was, but some kind of energy flow, whatever kind of thing. Yeah, lunchtime. Yeah, the walk to the bathroom was one of my major training times. I take advantage of that. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, I think we're have eaten up our time. Did you sort of, let me go over my notes real quick. I like to double up the word sometimes. So like easy in a finer space. In a finer space, easiness. I like to double up the words a certain way. Easy in a finer space. In a finer space, easy or easiness. Okay. A lot of value to, I don't know what to call that, doubling up the words or double beating the words or something. Right? Yeah. OSensei tried to remind me about that when he gave me a scroll that said Aikido. And then we lost the other one. Somebody lost it on me that said Aikido. Aikido. You can read it that way in Japanese. So there's that way and there's that way. And I thought he was telling me something, but because that second would not print now. That second scroll was lost. It took me longer than expected to catch the niceness of a 2-beat kind of thing. Did I confuse you, Noan? I'm just bullshitting over here. Thanks for hanging out. We're more than happy to receive any donations. If you're a lottery winner, we're more than happy to drink to your well-beingness. I'm mouthing off. Let's get out of here. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you when the
next class, Sensei. Next class is the 20th. October 20th, and I'm posting the donation details into the meeting chat.
Oh, thank you.
Who'd like to contribute?
Yeah. If it turns you on to do that, turns me on to receive it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sensei, and thank you everybody for joining again tonight. And we'll see you on Friday, October 20th, 2 weeks from today.
And between now and then, easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bob.
very much. It was
Thank
really
you,
good.
Lauren.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thanks, Bob.